Morning. We have a heat wave going on. It's like 40 degrees. And when I say 40 in Michigan, like, I'm in a flannel shirt. No jacket, just a flannel shirt. I'm gonna break down to a t-shirt because I think it's supposed to get up to like 50 today. The problem with that is this, because they're talking rain. Look at, they're talking rain today. So rain on top of this, all the roads, back roads, are going to be like an ice rink. It's going to be bad. But it's all right. I mean, this whole area is nothing but a sheet of ice. But I'll take the 50 degrees all day. And I know this is going to sound bad, but I am expecting some calls on tow outs today because these delivery trucks suck on the snow and ice, and the back roads are nothing but ice, and then you put rain on top of it. I'm expecting some trucks to get stuck today. We did have one stuck yesterday, and it was 40 degrees yesterday, and the sun was out. And again, it's literally not the driver's fault. He pulled into a long driveway. It was like quarter-mile long driveway. It was super long. He pulled into the driveway, delivered the package, turned around, and as he like backed into their plowed out spot, because it was packed snow, he went to take off, tire spun, got stuck on ice again. Literally, it was, I don't even think I put the truck in four-wheel drive, just kind of like, and he was out. And I'm expecting a lot of that today. So, ooh, my camera's crooked. Hang on. Is that better? A little gooder? Like, the other day, and it could have been like a week ago, I don't remember, but I saw a post on Facebook, and the post said, what's one thing that you preach to other people, or how'd they word it? What's one thing you tell other people to do but you don't practice yourself? And at first when I read it, I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. I kept scrolling. And then I got thinking about it. And like, I've been thinking about this for like a few days now. And it hit me in my answer. The one thing I tell people a lot is it never hurts to ask for help. If you're struggling and need help with something, just ask. And that's one thing I don't do. I don't ask for help. I never have. I mean, if I'm asking for help, it's like I'm in desperate, dire straits, needing help. And that's the one thing that I tell other people to do, but I don't practice it myself. And then I got thinking about it. It's like, what's the one thing you guys tell other people to do, but you don't do it yourself? I'm just curious. And with me, I guess it's a mental thing with me, because I have always strived to do my best, to make things work, make things succeed, to prove to other people you can do it by yourself, just do it. You know, I've always been that way, but yet there are times I do need help, and I have asked for help, but I guess in my mind, and it literally is just a mental thing, in my mind, I feel if I'm asking for help, I'm a failure. And it's just me. It's just one of those things that I feel I'm a failure if I have to ask for help. But I don't mind at all if someone else asks for help and I offer it to them. I guess I'm weird that way. All right, enough of that deep thought crap. Let's get back to work. That's black gold. I was down to about a quarter of a tank in the furnace. So I figured it's 50 degrees out today. I'd much rather move the tractor around with the doors open when it's 50 outside versus 27 or 25 tomorrow. But at any rate, I figured I'd at least top this off while it's warm outside. And then that way when it's colder, I don't have to open the doors unless absolutely necessary. I found doing it this way is easier for us filling it. I made up this bracket or fill tube basically that connects to these totes, and what we do is we'll fill these totes up with waste oil and then just use the forks on the tractor to pick it up, and then I put my my spout that I made on it and then just crack that valve open and I fill it that way. But I got thinking earlier today, I'm just flirting with disaster right here. I think what I need to do is extend this tube here a little longer, and that will keep me a little further away from the furnace, because I know at some point in life I'm gonna bump that furnace. It's inevitable. At some point in life it'll happen unless I make that tube longer. So I think what I'm going to do is probably make that tube like 2 feet, and then that way it'll put, you know, the tote further away from the furnace. Better to be safe than sorry when it comes to something like this. This furnace isn't cheap. But that fill, how we fill the furnace, actually works good for us. And last year I used the skid steer to do this with the forks on the skid steer. Because skid steer's smaller, more nimble, it can actually, you know, move around in here without opening the doors up. But the skid steer's behind the curtain right here, and this was out. It was much easier for me to just use this rather than opening the curtain to get the skid steer out and all that hoo-ha, because this was already accessible. But if it gets cooler and there's no warm up in sight and we need to fill the furnace, chances are I might just open the curtain a little bit, pull the skid steer out and use it, so I don't have to open the big door in the future, like January, February. But this is what I'm doing right now. Works fine. It's getting there. We need to get it right up to here. And the fuel cell right here for the furnace is 200 gallons. I think it's like 205 gallons. And these totes are 225 gallons a piece. So, like earlier this year, I emptied that tote into here, and there was, I think, 100 gallons in there. So it didn't quite fill the furnace, but it got it up there near full. And then this one has just been sitting here staying warm until I needed it again. So I have another one of these totes behind the curtain here. So next time I fill this furnace, I'll empty this tote out, open the curtain up, grab the skid steer and grab that other tote and bring it in here. And then that way it'll warm up a little bit before I put it in the furnace. It just flows easier if you let it warm up overnight first. Too bad we couldn't turn this waste oil burner into an air conditioner for the summertime. That'd be nice. She's full now. I just turned the furnace back on, and it got down to 55 degrees in here. So it's a good thing I filled it today versus tomorrow when it's 20 something. I figure I have about 80 gallons left in that tote. There's about 200 gallons in that, in the waste oil burner now. And then the tote in here is full almost full. So let's say there's 200 gallons there. So I've got 480 gallons of waste oil right now, and that thing burns about a gallon an hour. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. So it's right around a gallon an hour is a good figuration, I guess. So that means I've got 480 hours worth of heat, and then we gotta get more oil. But we are going to have more oil. The delivery trucks are all going to be due for an oil change after Christmas, basically, because their peak season ends Christmas. Every one of them needs an oil change after peak, so there's going to be probably another 100 gallons of oil right there. So that would put me, you know, another 100 hours worth of runtime on the furnace. Plus, we have struck a deal with some of the little local mom and pop oil change places about getting their waste oil. So let's say that's another 100 to 200 gallons a month that will be accruing. So we should be able to run this furnace all winter is what we're figuring. Right now, to conserve a little bit of oil until we get some more stock built up, I'm shutting it off for the weekends because nobody's in the shop over the weekends. But I run it from Monday morning to Friday night, non-stop. And at night, I just turn the thermostat down to about 50 to 55 degrees. And in the morning, I walk in and I bump it up to 60 to 65 degrees, depending on how cold it is outside. And it keeps it comfortable in here. Like right now, it's been on for 20 minutes and we're already back up to 57 degrees. So that side of the building is probably close to 60 right now, because that side will heat up before this side will. So the furnace will probably be shutting off here in 5 minutes or less. I think I'm going to end the video here. I'm going to go home and work on some Christmas gifts that we need some finishing touches on, and then kind of just relax. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.